Hello and welcome. This is Your City in Action here on Salina Community Access TV. I'm your host, Todd Pittenger from the Rockingham Media Group of radio stations. We have 30 radio stations across Kansas. More importantly, though, here in Salina, I'm the news director for the Salina Group of radio stations, News Radio 1150 KSAL. Great show lined up today. Kind of our own little version, I just thought of this, of Three's Company. I'll be Jack in the middle, and one of you can be Chrissy, and the other can be...
I'm Janet.
You're Janet, okay.
Probably the Janet of the group, yeah.
But it is one of my favorite shows of the year because we are going to talk all things Smoky Hill River Festival. With me, Grace Peterson and Stacy Ash from Salina Arts and Humanities. And let's dive right into it. It is a festival of the arts. You're in charge of the art, is that right?
I'm in charge of getting people to come to the festival.
You're not in charge of doing all of the art, but you kind
Right.
of coordinate it. How about all that? Yes.
Yeah,
But you are an artist, though.
I am a studio artist, I am. Thankfully, I don't have to show at the same time. That would be horrible. But I coordinate the visual art shows. We have a really great craft and fine art show
Right.
that takes place in the middle of the park. And we have all kinds of artists coming this year. We have about 20 new ones
Right.
from different places. Gosh, man, I think we have over 20 states
Wow.
representing this year, and we have price points all from $20 to $6,000, and they're on both sides. So some people have said, oh, you know, the section on the east side, I don't go over there because I know I can't afford it.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
There were things over there for $20 last year, and vice versa. There are some things in the craft area that are a little higher price point. So I encourage everyone to move around the park. We also have a demonstration. We have 2 new demonstration artists. We have an artist coming from, I believe it is Oklahoma, and he actually saws out the insides of coins and then makes jewelry out of them. Very cool stuff. And we also have a woodworker this year. So we'll have 2 new people there and some of the old favorites, obviously. But we have some great installations this year.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask about next. I love those. Those are the huge art pieces that are out there. Tell me about those.
So we're going to be, again, kind of doing more of the interactive stuff.
Right.
We have the henna chicks coming out again down by Bravo. Bravo's going to be pretty cool this year. Cash is going to be there on Saturday. We've got a great graffiti artist named Scribe whose work is all over Kansas City. And he's coming up to do a very special piece that will then be put into the animal shelter. And it's based off of kind of the mission and the people that work there at the animal shelter and all the little critters. So that's going to be really fun. And then we've also got a big kind of surprise for the pool, but it's art that's going to be in the air.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
We mentioned critters. Are there going to be giant critters out there again? I know I've seen like spiders and things like that.
Well, okay, so that's a good question. Juniper is the person who usually does that. And this year he made a proposal that is really interesting because it's going to be sculpture on our golf carts.
So mobile.
Yeah, it's going to be running through the park. Each one of us is going to, 4 of us, and we haven't, wrestled to see who. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get one, but.
Since you set this whole thing up, right?
Yeah. So they represent the 4 directions, and it's from the Chinese zodiac. So those are going to be moving all around. So you want to be sure to check and see if you can find each one. And then we'll have a really great artist that has been here a couple of times through Arts Infusion, but also through the festival. And he's going to be taking materials from the Land Institute and working with the public to create a art piece that will then go into their collection or onto another place to be on public display.
Kind of an ecological art piece then.
It's really interesting, and Land Institute has been great. James Bowden is working for them, and he's working with Neil on how to get everything together. We've also got something really cool for the kids and the grown-ups.
Okay, because we're all big kids.
Right. I mean, anybody loves Legos.
Right. Absolutely,
I will
yes.
still play with Legos. And so we have a great artist from Kansas City named Michelle Dreher and Angie, and they're part of Two Tone Press, and they own a print shop in KC. They come out and they've created this Lego printing.
Okay.
So you put your Legos down and then you print images, and they're kind of like 8-bit, you know, those
Sure.
those 8-bit images. They're going to be printing with Legos onto paper, so that's going to be cool. We've got a bunch of other things, but I don't want to give away everything.
Right.
But it's going to be great, and we're going to have some big kind of spectacular things, and then some interactive stuff.
Now, what are the hours of the shows? I know not all of the shows are every day of the festival. Tell me about that.
We have 3 days this year. Again, we kind of changed that last year.
Right.
The craft show used to run 3 days, and the fine art was 2 days.
Right.
We've incorporated that stuff together, and so they're all 3 days. So we'll start on Friday. There's a special preview hour for patrons.
Right.
If you want to become a patron, it's a great program, and if you spend $100 at the festival on art, you should become a patron, because that's all it takes,
Right.
and you get all kinds of perks for that, including a party that's catered by Renaissance on site. It's really great, and VIP tent stuff. So we have that preview hour from 9 to 10 a.m. on Friday, and then from 10 to 7 is the show on Friday. From 10 to 7 is the show on Saturday, and then we go 10 to 4 this year on Sunday. So there's a lot of time
Right.
to come in and make your purchases, and you should make your purchases early, because
It might not be there if you come back,
I've made
right?
that mistake so
Yeah.
many times. Yeah, so.
Now, one of my things that I like to do at the festival, I go around and talk to various artists, some that I might not recognize, and I ask them, give me your thoughts on Salina. Well, what do you like about this? All of them just rave about the way they're treated, not just by your staff, but by the people that are at the festival, when they're not at the festival, when they're at their hotel, wherever they're at. Tell me how Salina got that reputation.
Well, it is built on a tradition of hospitality. All of the artists, including the musicians that come
Right.
here, become instant ambassadors for our town, because they come in. We've had people open their homes to artists to stay so that they could save some money. When the artists leave their house,
Right.
they're spending about $1,000 to get here
Right.
and get everything together, and so they need to make that work. And sometimes they will stay with the host family, which is so cool.
Right.
And they also get to know, so our patron party is a party where we invite the artists and the patrons so that they can talk to each other, get to
Right.
know each other a little bit. And again, that one, you can sign up for that on riverfestival.com for the premiere party. But we have all kinds of things that we do for the artists. And so we provide phone charging stations, which is a huge deal.
Right.
We provide a breakfast for them on Sunday, all kinds of support. Our committees that help support those shows are amazing.
Right.
And they actually, some of our artists consider those people family.
Right.
They come back every year, and they talk, they catch up like it's a family reunion. It's really, really cool.
Well, I know you're always going around in those little golf carts, checking up on them all the
Yeah,
time,
we
making
always-
sure if they don't need anything, right?
Yes, we make sure they are well hydrated and fed and well taken care of. So that's a big bonus for our show. And the community is just so overwhelmingly supportive that we couldn't be more grateful.
Again, this is Your City in Action here on Salina Community Access TV. Todd Pittenger with Grace Peterson and Stacy Ash from Salina Arts and Humanities. Now, the Smoky Hill River Festival is a festival of the arts. We've talked about art. Music is an art form.
Absolutely. it
And
is.
you are in charge of the music and the entertainment
Yes.
at the Smoky Hill River Festival. Tell me what's new this year.
There's a lot new this year, and it's I want to say that I work with a committee. So we have a committee that starts meeting in about August, September, and we'll meet until December or January. And we just review music. We sit
Right.
around, we listen to music. We take submissions, of course, through the website through riverfest.com or riverfestival.com.
Right.
River Festival.
I always
Somehow
I do
you,
it too. Festival.com.
somehow you got that website, and that's awesome that you got that web domain. So riverfestival.com. Yes.
Absolutely. And so through this process, process, and we try to get a really good slice of the community in there, right? So we have all different age groups and everything, and we try to really pick a good selection of music. And so we have 4 stages to program, 4 stages to program and roving acts.
Tell me the 4 stages.
The 4 stages, of course, is the Eric Stein stage, which is the big, beautiful concrete stage.
That's the main attraction for some people.
But some people actually like stage 2.
Oh, I agree. I do.
More.
Yes, because a lot of those same acts will then go to stage 2 to a more intimate setting and do a performance there.
Exactly. So stage 2, which a lot of our stage 2 and Eric Stein stage acts are interchangeable, as you're saying, except for those big headliner acts. And then we've got Artie's stage, which is the stage in Artiopolis, the kids area. And so that focuses on family-centered.
Like puppet shows and a ventriloquist, right?
A ventriloquist this year. I'm so excited about that. And a lot of interactive stuff. And then, of course, the Bravo stage, which Grace mentioned earlier, which is local and regional talent. And we've been putting a lot more resources into Bravo the past couple of years, including a food truck over there, which I'll talk about here in a minute. And then the art installations over there. So we're really excited about that. So those are the 4 stages. And then, of course, like I said, we have the roving acts. Which tend to gear a little bit more towards family and youth, but a lot of them are really fun for everybody. And I know the Hip Hop Wagon was a huge hit, and that's going to be back.
Oh yeah,
that's
a lot
of
energy
there. And there was kids of all ages hanging out at the Hip Hop Wagon. So
now you're doing things a little differently this year. When you talk about, typically you've had a big headliner on Saturday night. You're doing things a little different this year. You're going to have multiple headliners, for lack of a better term, well, like multiple groups that could headline, but they're going to share the same stage on different nights, right?
Yes, and we're going to get on both Friday and Saturday night 2 90-minute sets out of a band.
So basically, you're getting 4 concerts when you would get 2 in the past, right?
Yes. For a $10 admission
I know, right?
But yes, so on Friday night, one of our returning acts that was here last year and was the 45-minute set, multiple. Papa Green Shoes. And I want to say, not just are they an amazingly talented musical group, some of the best guys ever. I mean, they were all over. They came in early for the festival jam, and they just wanted to come to the park, and they were all over talking to people from Salina, hanging out. And so we wanted them back, not just because they were amazingly talented, but because they really resonated with the Salina community. So that was a slam dunk. And they are the only headliner, actually, that we're not only going to do that 90-minute set on Friday, but we gave them 2 more little, because the other thing was everybody really loves Papa Green Shoes on stage 2, and we didn't want to take that away from people either. So
makes sense.
So they're going to do the 90-minute kind of co-headlining spot and lead into the big headliner on Friday night, which is the Main Squeeze out of Chicago, Illinois, and that is a big, brassy blues, funk, a little hip hop, guitar, everything, real kind of like a street party band. And so that's going to be our Friday night, and then Saturday is the beginning headlining act is Josh Hoyer and Soul Colossal. And Josh, if his name sounds familiar to you, he was on The Voice, the 2017 season of The Voice, and went really far, and has just this big, beautiful voice, super fun, very kind of like a family band style, another kind of party band. And then Saturday, the finishing headliner is a group called Jessica Hernandez and the Deltas. And she's a little bit different than I think we've really ever had at the festival. She's really geared towards maybe a little bit of a younger, more alternative crowd, but I think everybody's going to love her.
Sure.
She's got a real kind of bluesy voice herself. And she's classified a little Latin punk rock, a little hard rock. She's got a little bit of an edge to her.
Yes.
And she is, she actually does some of her lyrics in Spanish and in English. So, having a good, Hispanic representation at the River Festival, which, we always try to work to making sure that we are always doing that cross-section of the community. So we're really excited about her. And then
Sunday. If I don't have my glasses on, and I look up on the stage, I might think that Elton John is on stage. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. We're really excited about Sunday. Attendance is always a little rough on Sunday, simply because people have been there.
It's been a
some of
long
them since
weekend.
Thursday.
People are tired.
Yes.
And they just want to stay home and veg out, right?
And it's completely understandable. And so we really wanted to kind of create an energy on Sunday that was a little bit different and unique from the rest of the weekend. And I'll get to Elton in a second. we have this isn't going to be a full night, since that's not a full day.
Right,
Our
correct.
co-headliner there is still just going to be a 45-minute, but it's unique to Sunday. The KU Brazilian Steel Band.
This will be awesome.
Is coming, right?
Yes.
And these are percussion students from the University of Kansas, and the School of Music has been generous enough to actually donate the busing to us so that we didn't have to pay for that. Of course,
very
they're getting
nice, yes.
paid a fee. And Professor Brandon Draper, who is all over the festival, essentially. He's working on the roving acts and drum safari on Artie's stage and all that stuff. He is directing the KU Brazilian Steel Band, and they actually do some pop numbers. So he knows about Elton Dan, and so there's gonna be some really cool, fun pop covers kind of worked into the KU Brazilian
And this
Steel
could
Band
be
to build
potentially one of the biggest crowds they perform in front of,
Yeah,
right?
very possibly, yes. And also we're hoping maybe that'll get some parents from all over, not just Lawrence, but
maybe,
I mean, whoever.
And
are
maybe
the
just
parents of those
some
kids.
proud Jayhawk alum who want to show up and see them, right?
Exactly. And so then the big headliner on Sunday is Elton Dan and the Rocket Band.
Elton Dan and the Rocket Band,
Yes.
just like it sounds.
Yes,
Elton
exactly.
John tribute, right?
Yes, exactly. And we're talking a full tribute. Well, they go all out. Based out of Kansas City, Missouri. They
Feather boas,
feather
the
boa,
hat, the
baby
glasses,
grand piano,
everything.
Backup singers, just a huge stage show. So it's just going to be a big party. Big Elton John party.
What a way to end the 4-day party in the park, right?
Exactly. So we're really looking forward to that. And then at Artie's stage, of course, like I said, we got Drum Safari. We have a ventriloquist, Kevin Horner. The K-Pastas are coming from Austin, Texas, and they're a Kindy rock band.
Oh, Kindy rock.
Kindy rock.
Kindy rock.
Kid indie rock.
Right, I get it.
And they're called the K-Pastas,
Right.
so they're just a whole lot of fun. And then the Bravo stage, a lot is going on at the Bravo stage. So we've got a food truck over there. Is going to be Byron's Fast and Fresh is over there. And they're going to have some street tacos, among many other things. And then the Henna Chicks and Scribe. And on Friday, during the first part of the day, we're having a lot of the traditional acts that you would see there, showcasing a lot of Salina talent. Both Tamara Howe and Prestige School of Dances, both of them
fabulous
have spots.
dancers at both those schools,
And then actually Ramona Newsom and the Salina Gospel Choir, which is a volunteer choir, really, really good volunteer choir.
I've seen them and they are awesome.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I've heard about them
they're
for
good.
years, and we've never been able to really nail them down, and we got them this year.
I attend the Martin Luther King ceremony or celebration in Salina every year. I've seen them perform at that, and they are good.
That's exciting. And then Dean Kranzler, Dexter Makubo, there's going to be all sorts of those Salina staples. And then on Friday, we're going to kind of switch over later in the afternoon to what we're calling the regional rock block. And there is going to be a local band, Buildings Like Mountains, a band from Manhattan called Funtabi, and then our big kind of headliner at Bravo on Friday, which ends up before the big headliner at Eric Stein, so you can kind of see both, is Big Red Horse, which is a really great hard rock band out of Wichita.
They opened up for Lita Ford here in Salina.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where their name.
That's where I've
filtered
seen
down
them.
to.
Yes.
Yep. And so that's going to be on Friday, and then Saturday later in the afternoon we're going to switch over. We're going to kind of do the transition with one mic, so we'll have the festival edition of one mic, and then the Bravo Day Party, which was so successful last year. And Cash has, I want to say, at least six hip hop artists, local, regional, all kind of lined up for that. And so
he has his finger on the pulse of the hip hop community.
He really does, and he's going to be emceeing it, of course. So you'll get to see him up on stage, and so that'll be fantastic. And then Sunday we're going to kind of close back out with some more of those traditional, all local Salina acts. So
again, this is Your City in Action here on Salina Community Access TV. Todd Pittenger, Grace Peterson, Stacy Ash from Salina Arts and Humanities. Now we've talked art, we talked music. To some, Food can be an art form. You
Oh,
handle the
yes.
music, you handle the food. You mentioned the food a little bit about some of the food trucks and some of the things that are going to be there. Tell me some, I know the old staples are going to be there. I can get me an Indian taco, and
Yes.
I'm a weird blasé kind of guy. I love me a funnel cake.
Yes.
I know I can get me funnel cake
Yes.
there also.
We actually have a new funnel cake
Really?
stand. There are people that have been working at or coming to the festival for a long time that used to do the Indian tacos, but
Right.
they've sold
Okay.
to, I believe it's a daughter-in-law. So Indian tacos are going to be there.
Right.
And then right next door is going to be Griffin that used to do the Indian tacos, and they're going to be just doing all funnel cakes.
All
So
things funnel cake.
all
huh?
things funnel cakes, all sorts of different
Whether I
toppings.
want strawberries on it or
S'mores, I
whatever,
think there's
right?
going to be
Yes.
s'mores, all sorts of stuff. So
Yes,
that's
so
gonna
that'll be my
fantastic.
favorite booth this
Yeah,
year.
and they're right beside each other, so you can get the roasted corn, the Indian
Right.
tacos.
Yep. Oh, I love the big ear of roasted
That's
corn
cool.
just dripping with butter.
Yes.
Anything better than that? I don't think so.
I don't think it doesn't even matter if it's 100 degrees
Right.
outside.
What's some of the new food that's going to be there this year?
One of the trucks that I'm really excited about is called Lumpia Palooza out of Wichita, and they have 40 different kinds of egg rolls.
Wow.
So you can get like mac and cheese in an
Right.
egg roll and all sorts of just any kind
Yeah.
of weird thing. And they also have a lot of other really tasty kind of gourmet stuff that isn't really showcased anywhere else in the festival. From Lawrence, Kansas, we got a place, a gourmet hot dog place. Coney Island Hot Dog, I believe is their name. They're coming in. The noodle place that did really well at Bravo last year
Right.
is now getting a spot on the low road, but we'll
nice.
still have Pacific Rim, so we'll have a couple different noodle options.
Mediterranean food, is that-
Yes, Mediterranean, yes.
I know the Mermaid Cafe, we lost them a couple years ago
we
because
lost them.
right.
It was some health issues
Right,
and some other
right.
things, and they're not, they haven't applied
Right.
again, unfortunately. But we got Milo's Mediterranean is what
Okay,
it's called, and they
nice.
have a very similar. Like if you look at their setup, it's very similar to Mermaid. So I know everybody's going to be excited
Right.
about that. So and then a lot of the good staples, Tad's burritos will be there, Pizza Point
Right.
concessions, all of the good stuff.
What about vegetarian? My wife's a vegetarian.
There's
Is there a
vegetarian options. Yeah,
yes.
the Mediterranean place has vegetarian options. I believe Lumpia.
And last year
goes
she had
too.
some vegetarian noodles that were just
That's at
delicious
Bravo.
also.
That was
Those were really
Yes.
good.
yes, Wakai. Wakai
Yes,
is the name
yes.
of that. That'll be on the low road this year. So yes, good vegetarian
there's
options this year, and of course the homemade ice cream and
Right.
the root beer and the kettle corn. That's
And
all
the
gonna be
Dippin'
there.
Dots and everything
Of
else
course,
that's there,
you
right?
can't have a festival without
Right.
Dippin' Dots. So yes.
We've talked art, we've talked music,
Mm-hmm.
we've talked food. For a lot of people, it's the festival jam that gets the River Festival started. Well, that's
Yeah.
how it used to be. Not so much anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I don't know how long ago it is, we started a medallion hunt.
10 years.
Has it really been 10 years?
10 years ago
Yes.
this year.
Yes, and you organize that, is that right,
I
Grace?
do,
Well,
I
tell me
do.
about the medallion hunt. Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be different? Is it going to be pretty much the same but a little bit different? How's it going to work?
It's going to run the same format as it always has. We're going to announce the very first clue at 1 o'clock on May 25th on the
On the
Festival
Eric Stein
Friday.
Street, right? And that's the Friday of Memorial Day weekend, right?
Right, which is a super fun
Yes.
thing to do on your lunch hour
Yeah,
on that
it's-
Friday. 'Cause
in my
it's a
book,
free
it's kind of a
concert.
it's kind of a kickoff to summer, kickoff to the River Festival,
Yep.
kickoff to the whole medallion hunt
Yep.
as well. It's just a fun day to start
It
summer.
is, and we have a bunch of people that show up
Yep.
just to have their lunch and then they go back to work. So it's really good little break in the day for that Friday. But yeah, we plan on having the medallion, and it's such a secret process
Right.
that that's really
That's
all
all
I
you
can
can say.
say.
Really? So if I haven't started tailing you yet, it's too late.
I was joking at the press conference and told everybody that I was going to hide it in gypsum this
Right.
year. And that didn't go over very well. So,
As a matter of fact, you got back, you had a
I
message
decided
from the
I'm
mayor of
bringing
Gibson on your machine saying,
yeah. The quest is really designed for getting people out of their house
Right.
and getting summer rolling
Right.
and walking around with your families. And
Yep.
it is a cool time of year, and I drive around and see everyone out there interpreting the clues, all
Right.
different, all over the city with their
Yep.
kids and their dogs. I see people walking around with their trash can, and they pick up trash as they do
Right.
that, which I love. That's so cool. So it's kind of starts the buzz. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and
it
we'll
can
have
be
two-
anywhere within the city of Salina city limits, right?
Yes.
Last year was right off the flood control levee on that
Yes.
river trail.
It's on city property.
Right.
That's what
Right.
and we have a list of rules at Riverfest on riverfestival.com.
Right.
And so you can look up the rules, but we're going to release the clues the same as last year. It'll be at 7:30 and 5:30 every single day.
Right. And you'll do it online and at your office, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We post it out. It's so cool because I start to get to know the people because they're there at 7:30 in the morning.
People line up, they're
Sometimes
waiting for
they're
that
waiting
clue,
for
right?
me, and I'm like,
And if you're like a minute late, do they let you know?
oh my gosh, 30 seconds. I
Yeah.
remember it. One time the RSS feed wasn't working, and we were 60 seconds late, and holy cow, things started.
You would have thought somebody blew up
Woo.
a church, huh?
Yeah, it was like emergency. So we're really careful. We come in there and we make sure that everything's working, but there are some glitches that
Right.
you can't anticipate. So, but yeah, we'll post those 2 clues, and we'll do that until it's found.
2 clues daily until it's found. The first day, do you do 2 clues or 1 clue on
We
that
do,
Friday? Because the first clue you'll do right before 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, but then we do one at 5:30.
At 5:30, so you'll do 2 on the first day.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to me on that first day, people line up right beside the stage, they look at it, they decipher it, then everybody kind of scatters
Yeah,
and goes their
it
own
is
way.
kinda funny.
And the first couple of days, when people are looking for it, I think they are as far away from it as they absolutely positively could be.
Yeah.
It's like the old game when you're a kid, if you're cold, and as you get closer, you get warmer. Then
Right.
they are freezing cold on the
Yeah,
first couple of
yeah,
days.
Yeah, maybe I should just put it like on the Eric Stein stage.
You know, that would hide it in
that's where
plain
they all
sight, right? Isn't that what they say? Hide it. Well, one year it was hidden literally right behind your office downtown.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was, we got that on film. That's a great video. And we've thought, gosh, it would be so nice to be able to get that on camera. But I'm pretty sure if we put a
Right.
camera in a park somewhere, people
Right.
would be like, oh, well.
That wouldn't be suspicious or anything,
Yeah.
would it? Well, tell me about the medallion itself. I mean, you say medallion hunt, and when I think of a
Right.
medallion, I think of a round thing that you wear around your neck.
Right.
Well, that's really not what it is. Well,
No,
it could be,
it-
but not necessarily,
Right,
right?
it can be anything.
Right.
It has been, I hire an artist to create an object.
It was a log last year, is that right? Or was it a stick? It was under a tree, I remember.
Piece of wood.
Piece of
yeah,
bark,
it was
right?
a piece of bark.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's been a bolt from a
From a
guardrail.
bridge, right?
It's been the rock was my
Right.
favorite, I think.
And it was an arrow on a sign when it was behind your
Right.
office, right?
It's been a lot of different things, and
What is it this year? I tried, Stacy.
it's really cool. I can tell you that. So I hire an artist, and we talk about it, and we talk about locations, and we get together and we throw it around a little bit.
Right.
But that happens like so far
Months.
out.
I mean, that's been going.
Oh no,
yeah,
like
right.
right after.
Right.
Yeah, no, we're start.
And then I know
talking about
you hide it months before, and then I know you have to secretly go over and make sure that it's still where you left
Well,
it. So.
we do hide it in advance. It just depends on when
Right.
we feel like that's a good idea. So, and we have a clue writer that writes the
Right.
clues, and we arrange them and release them, and
Right. Now, the person that finds it, what do they win?
they get $2,000 in gift certificates. They get
awesome.
an invitation to the premiere party. They get a bunch of swag.
Right.
And
They get a VIP parking pass, right? That's
I
huge.
think so. Yeah, they
Yeah,
could get
yeah.
a VIP park. So they get a ton of prizes, and that is also on the rules at riverfestival.com. But the cool thing that some of the winners of the medallion have done is they actually purchase a piece of art, and then they bring it back to our office,
Right.
and it's a part of the prize package for next year.
Oh, very nice.
So they'll
yeah.
buy like a cool little something,
Cool-
and
something that catches
that's
their
for
eye.
that's for the next winner.
right? They kind of pay it
Yeah.
back a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat
little tradition. Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
So they they come in and we have a press conference, and then they're
Right.
loaded up with all their goodies. And
Well, I know those right after that first clue is released. It's anxious days the next few days, and typically 3, 4, 5 days. Typically by midweek it's found.
Well,
I know
what do we
one
do?
year it was
3
found on the first day, right?
I think it was like one day or something like
Yeah.
that. 2 years ago it was 3 days.
And
Yeah.
what's the longest it's ever? It's went over a week
I
before,
thought it was
hasn't
6 days,
Yeah.
or maybe it was 8. I don't know. If it runs into festival, we got problems. But
Yeah.
You're going to be putting out 3, 4, 5
yeah.
clues a day then,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, and that would probably be the case. We would probably up the number of clues. But yeah, it's however they're interpreted. Sometimes people interpret the literal ones in a different way,
Right.
and then they'll interpret the ones that aren't literal
Right.
as literal. It's really anybody's game.
Yeah.
Literally anybody's game.
Those first couple of clues, I think it's fair to say, can be pretty vague.
Yes.
Yes.
We try to,
Right. Because it wouldn't be fun if you gave away a clue and somebody found it by 5 o'clock in the evening,
Yeah.
right?
Well, but you never know. I mean, sometimes we've popped in and out and
Right.
given vague and very specific towards the
So
middle,
again,
too. So
again, the date of the kickoff for the
May 25th.
and it's
at
a whole. It's called Festival Friday. Is
Festival
that right?
Friday.
Yes?
There's a free concert. There's a food truck there. I don't who's it.
It's the band is Herringbone,
Okay,
so local band Herringbone, and then Chapman's Takeaway will be on site, and that'll be from it's noon to about 1:30 is when
Right.
people filter out. 11:30 to 1:30.
Right.
we have
and
free
the-
Pepsi.
And
free
free
Pepsi,
Pepsi,
right?
that's right.
And the highlight, the first festival clue or the first medallion
at
search
1
clue,
o'clock.
right at 1 o'clock. So,
Yeah.
Stacey Ash, Grace Peterson, anything else we should know about the Smoky Hill
I
River
do
Festival?
have one little
Yes.
thing too. So the festival has been going for 4 decades, over 4 decades.
Right.
And the people that started the festival are still volunteering.
Really?
Yeah.
When it was the street fair?
Yeah, they represent a large majority of our volunteers. What's happening is those people want to take a break.
Oh, really? Okay.
So we're
You
going
mean after
through a bit of a-
40 years they
I
want a
know,
break?
So selfish. No, they've done such an amazing job and built that.
Right.
They have built this event.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
volunteers that work on this event are priceless because we literally couldn't do it. We could plan all we want.
Right. And it's
but-
literally a small army of volunteers
Yes,
too, isn't it?
yeah, it's about 2,000 throughout the year that work on the festival. And we're going through some transitions. We're building up certain areas and working on others. And so we would like to have new groups of volunteers. People who maybe haven't done that before, or and we also have committees for every
Right.
single aspect of
Right.
the festival that are made up of community members because we want to know what you want.
Yes.
Right.
It's not-
If you want to see something at the festival, there's a
Right.
way to
It's
actually go
not
about.
the Grace and Stacy show.
Yeah.
Right.
I have 5 committees, and I talk to them about what they want to do, what they
Right.
want to see, and then we start to
Right.
create the festival around some of that stuff.
So anybody in the community is eligible, no matter your age,
Yes,
no
you
matter
just
you're
have
young,
to contact
old,
us.
whatever.
Our committees are pretty much done for now. So the
right.
committees are more of a time commitment. We meet several times a year, and then we ask them to work some
You
of
have
the information
assignments then,
tents.
right,
They have
yeah.
specific jobs that are volunteer
Right.
at the festival, and then we have just volunteers, which we need a whole army
Right.
of those too. So we're currently signing people up
Okay.
for volunteer opportunities, whether that's an hour, whether that's before the festival even
Right.
starts, or maybe it's help
And
clean up, or
That's
whatever
right
it
on the
is.
website in the
Okay.
feedforsignup.com. I
Yeah.
think.
And doing things, what a huge variety, I would guess, working the gate, being a roadie maybe, helping set up things, picking
Helping
up
in the-
trash.
Yeah, if you like art and you want to hang out at the east side or west side tents, you can do that. If you want to help wrangle with the installation artists, you
Right.
can do that. So we've got, and we have Sign Up is this really cool new tool that we're using, and it's
Okay.
got a description of the volunteer opportunities,
Right.
and you just click in there and you tell them your information, and it'll send you a reminder. and where to go.
Riverfestival.com, right?
Riverfestival.com, and it's the sign up button. And
Right.
we're
It's over
really
on the feed
needing
side.
and
Yep.
looking forward to a whole new group
Or
of
if
volunteers.
they'd rather
too.
call, they can call Grace Peterson or Stacey Ash to volunteer
or
also.
yeah, just our
right?
main number too, and
Yeah.
they can give them that information. So
Yep.
yeah, that's one of the really important things that it's a challenge to
Right.
create this
Oh, I'm sure.
in 18 months.
Right.
But honestly, one of our biggest challenges is getting volunteers, especially during this kind of time when some of our volunteers are retiring and they want
Right.
to go
They
there
wanna
with their
go hang out at the
grandkids.
festival.
Sure, right.
So
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So you told me that it's the Friday of Memorial Day weekend is Festival Friday.
Right.
When's the festival?
The festival, for me, it starts.
It's already started.
It's starting.
Yeah.
The 7th is Thursday, so
Right.
the festival jam is on the 7th,
Right.
and it runs through that Sunday
The
at
10th.
5.
Yeah.
The 10th, yep.
So it'll start with the festival jam.
And the premiere party is also at the same
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll start with the festival jam and it'll end with Elton John.
It'll
Yeah.
end with
Yeah,
Elton John,
John.
and I did want to say something real quick too. We spent a lot of time on the headliners, and there are a lot of amazing regional and national
Right.
acts coming for all those other multiples. So please go to riverfestival.com and look at the entertainment schedule. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised at the rest of the lineup. And another little plug here too. The festival buttons are $10 up until
Right.
it's the Tuesday.
I think it's the Tuesday
Tuesday
before.
Tuesday
That's a
before-
little bit of a change.
That's a little bit of a change,
Right.
and that's just so we can get all those
Right.
Because
buttons
they're
back
all over
and
the
then
state.
get them.
We
Yes.
need time
Yeah,
to
we
be
need
able
to get them
Right.
back.
And they can't give a specific time on that Tuesday because various places close at
It's
various
so it's
close
the
of
end of
business
business.
or whatever
or
it is.
sold
that day.
out.
Right.
And then it's $15 at the gate. But what I want to say about that is, I know in the past a lot of people have shared buttons.
Mm-hmm.
A good portion of the money that we put towards the festival
Yeah.
comes from our button
Right.
sales. And so if we want to keep those prices down,
Right.
don't share your buttons.
Right.
Everybody, $10, even $15 for the amount of entertainment and art and food that
Best
you get.
value you're going to ever get.
It's the
I
best
don't
value
ever
you're gonna
remember it going up.
get. It hasn't in a
remember-
long. We
right.
It
we
goes
work
up by
really
little
hard.
increments,
Right.
but
keep it
It's
down.
been $10 for
Yeah.
30 years.
right.
Yeah.
But if people share buttons,
Right.
it's difficult to maintain that,
Right.
as well as volunteers. If we don't have the
Yeah.
volunteers we need, those are all to keep the prices where they are. So
Yes.
literally anybody can come. You know.
And
That's-
buttons go on
yeah.
sale May 1st, right?
May 1st. Yep.
May 1st, buttons on sale. And my suggestion is just go out early and get your button. Then you don't have to worry about
Yep.
end of day, Tuesday before
Yeah,
the
just
festival.
the
Just go out early and
second.
pick up your button and leave it on your dresser, and you'll be good to go. Well,
Yep.
Grace Peterson, Stacy Ash, they both work for Salina Arts and Humanities. All things Smoky Hill River Festival. I look forward to the art, I look forward to the music and to the food, and I really look forward to the festival medallion. Thank you both for joining me. Thank you for watching. This has been Your City in Action here on Salina Community Access TV.